President, please be seated. The court is now back in session. Before we broke, the chamber was already given the floor to the counsels for the civil parties to put question to the witness, but we noted that perhaps there would be no further questions, or they would have some further questions to put to the witness. If so, you may proceed. Counsel, since you are on your feet, please be reminded that you are supposed to put questions that are allowed by the law, and that make the most of the time allocated to you. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me reassure you that I am a professional, and when I rise, I will make sure I put questions that are concise to the witness. This would mean that I will refrain from asking questions that have been covered by the prosecution. Witness, I would like to ask a few follow-up questions. At the time of the DK era, did you know a woman called T.H.Y.? She worked at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Response: yes, I do know her. She was with me. Yes, Comrade T was with me.
Merci, Monsieur le témoin. Vous souvenez?
Thank you, witness. Do you remember what she told you regarding purges at B1 at the time?
Response: as I stated, I do not understand much about the purges conducted at the Foreign Affairs section. I don't understand about this.
Oui, Monsieur le témoin,
Yes, witness, I crave your indulgence for talking about purges. What I mean was arrests at B1. Do you recall what she told you regarding arrests at B1 at the time?
Response: I do not know if such arrest was ever made, because I lived and worked at house number 7, and what happened at B1 was not known to me, and I have no idea whether people had been removed or not. If this happened at my place, I would also be able to tell you the detail, but that happened in another location.
Oui, Monsieur le témoin, peut-être pour vous rafraîchir.
Yes, witness, perhaps I should jog your memory by reminding you of the answer you gave the investigators of the OCIJ in 2009. If you would allow me, Mr. President, I'll read a short answer given by the witness in document D280/18, and the ERN number is 0036 8632, and in French it is 008234 56 In English, 0037560. With your leave, I would like to have this passage placed on the screen, and I will read it out in the interest of having the public know what we are talking about. Thank you, Mr. President. During that interview, this is what you said to a question put to you, and the question was as follows. Other than Chung and Turn, were there any other arrests? And your answer was, I never witnessed other arrests, but I learned about the disappearance of people at B1. And another question is put to you as follows. Do you know if there were arrests in other places? Answer, P, a female, told me that she had witnessed the arrest of people in the other departments at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. End of quote. My question to you, therefore, witness, is as follows. Does this refresh your memory, and do you have any remarks to make on what I have just read out?
Response, I don't think I understand this. I don't understand.
Oui, monsieur le témoin, je vous dis.
Yes, witness. I was saying that you told the investigators at the time that he informed you that people at other departments of the Foreign Ministry other than yours were arrested. Does this refresh your memory as to what you told the OCIJ investigators?
Response. T was working with me, and she told me about the removal of the person by the name of Chereng. However, I still think that memory is still poor and I forget a lot.
Bon, monsieur le témoin.
Very well, witness, we shall not dwell on this. Let me remind you of another answer you gave, and it would be one of the last points I will put to you. It has to do with what you learned from the revolution. Last week, you told us that what you remembered was that engaging in the revolution was fighting for the liberation of the poor. Do you remember giving that answer?
I think I forget that. I'm not sure whether that was my response.
Bon, monsieur le témoin.
Very well, Mr. Witness. I see that you're under the effects of fatigue. We were told that you are suffering from a cold, therefore I will not dwell on this matter. This shall bring to conclusion the cross-examination by civil party counsels, and we shall hand over the floor to defense counsel. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
President, thank you. Next, the chamber hands over to defense counsel for Mr. Nunchia to put questions to this witness.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon to everyone. Mr. Witness, do you feel able to continue?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Thank you. I'm sure everyone appreciates that. Do you remember, witness, being interviewed by a representative of DC Chem in 2004?
I do not understand that. I don't understand it.
Do you remember talking to someone about your years under the Khmer Rouge in 2004? You gave a lengthy interview of somebody working for DC Cam here in Phnom Penh.
As I was living with them, I knew them. I knew Brother Hong, and I knew other people, but I don't think I understand it. I don't know how to answer it.
Maybe I can refresh your memory. I would like to show this particular witness the statement he gave to DC Chem on the 15th of May 2004. The document is numbered IS 19.72, and I want to show or read part of the statement, and the statement starts at Khmer ERN number 000-67625, English ERN 00809973.
The defense counsel, before you refer to or present the document, can you indicate whether you have presented this document before the chamber, and if so, when was that? Before the document is allowed to be used as the basis for your questions.
Of course, Mr. President, we have visited this particular issue before. I believe this document, the use of this document, is important in ascertaining the truth, and I'm convinced that you, as all of us, are interested in establishing the truth. And I would like to use this particular document for the impeachment of this witness. It is a statement.
The President interrupts. I want to know whether this document has been presented before the chamber yet, and whether the chamber has accepted the document pursuant to Internal Rule 87 yet. Answer my question, counsel. This concerns the use of documents in this chamber. The importance is not about the contents of the document. We are to follow the proceedings, the procedure as stipulated in Internal Rule 87.3 and from our normal proceeding.
Thank you, Mr. President. I regret the over-reliance of this trial chamber on procedure and the lack of interest for the truth. This document we put on the court interface. As you know, we have not submitted a list in April 2011, but I believe this document was on the list presented by the prosecutor, and that it has been admitted by the trial chamber.
ជួយតំណាងសហ
The President, International Co-Prosecutor, do you wish to shed some light on this issue?
Merci, monsieur.
Yes, indeed, Mr. President. This document, IS 19.72, is in fact the same document that is a biography as well as an interview conducted with DC Cam. It figures on the list of documents that was submitted by the co-prosecutors in April 2011. Unfortunately, I do not have the exact reference number, but this document has been placed before the chamber.
The President, now that the chamber has received sufficient information as indicated by the prosecutor, the document can be used, but the chamber wishes to remind Counsel Michael Passman that if you intend to use such documents, please indicate whether the document has been placed before the chamber so that the chamber can decide whether the documents can be used. You may now proceed, Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, I would like to read a small part of this statement which I believe you gave to a representative of DC Chem in 2004. It's a bit where you talk about meetings that took place at B1, among other places, with high-ranking officials. I would like to quote, and I will quote the bits highlighted on the screen in Khmer. The question is, when you were working there at B1, how often did you see the high-ranking officials coming to attend the meetings? And you answer, they had many meetings. Question, too much to count. The meetings were held frequently? You answer, definitely. The meetings were held very frequently. And then you continue, or there's a new question. Could you mention names of those high-ranking officials? And then you mention names, Tamok, Yingsari, Kyo Sampan, and many other high-ranking officials. Question, what about Nuon Chia? Answer, Nuon Chia was there too. In short, Hun Sen was also present. Did you see Pol Pot? I saw all of them, including our Ta. Did you see our Ta as well? Sure. Question, when did you see our Ta? I forgot it. It was since 1975. It was since 1974. Question, you mean Samdek Sihanouk? Answer, since 1974. Samdek Ta came to attend the meetings as well? Answer, right. Ta Hun Sen. Question: oh, you meant Hun Sen, not our Samdech Ta Sihanouk. Answer: no. I also saw Ta Sihanouk in Phnom Penh during the Pol Pot regime. Question: Ta Hun Sen came to attend the meetings too? He came to attend the meetings long time ago, prior to other people. Question: before 1974? Answer: definitely. Question: where did you see him? During his struggle period. You answer. Question: where did you see him coming to attend the meetings? Answer: during their meetings in the unknown forests. There were several of them. I knew some high-ranking officials, but I forgot all of them, as I was still young at the time. How old was Ta Hun Sen when he came to attend the meetings at the time? He was in his late 20s, you say, perhaps more late 20 to 30 years old. I was still young at the time. I was separated from my mother at the age of 16 or 17. He was probably between 25 and 30 years old. Did you see him in late 1978 to 1979? Is the question. And you answer: around that period. Not in 1975, 1976? And you answer: yes, of course. My first question would be, do you remember that, giving that statement, and is that statement correct?
No, I don't think I have answered it this way. I never knew of this. I don't know about this. I don't know. Believe me or not, but I do not say this. It is different from what I experienced. Because I am illiterate, someone may have written this for me. I don't know.
Do you remember talking to somebody in 2004 about meetings between high officials?
In 2004. No, I don't think I went to any meeting in 2004. Or perhaps I forget about it, but I don't think there was a meeting there back then. The President. Witness has already answered that he does not know. Counsel should proceed with a new question. You have referred to a long passage and asked the witness, and he has indicated already that he does not know about it.
Did you ever witness a meeting Hun Sen attended in the 1970s, either before or after the liberation of Phnom Penh in 1975?
If you talk about the 1970s, I was about this height. I was small back then. Before 1970, I knew nothing. The President. Counsel, could you put another question that is not related to the passage that you have just read out? Because the witness has clearly indicated that he does not know about that.
Mr. Witness, are you afraid to testify about Hun Sen's involvement in meetings that took place during the Khmer Rouge period?
The President, witness does not have to answer that question. The witness has already said he does not know. Besides, the question is not relevant.
I think this question is highly relevant, Mr. President. According to this witness, at least his statement given to the CCAM, Hun Sen attended several high-ranking meetings between, among others, my client. It's important to establish whether this particular witness told the truth in 2004, and if so, I would like to know exactly which meetings Hun Sen attended, which meetings were attended also by my client, what was discussed during those meetings. It's all very important. So I ask for permission to continue this line of questioning.
President, you cannot put the same question to witness. If you have a different question, I will allow you to proceed if I am of the view that the question is important. The witness has answered generally that he does not know anything about what you have just read out. From what the witness has said in relation to the passage that you have just quoted, it is unlikely that the witness can answer your question.
Well, we don't know because you're not allowing the witness to answer the question. My question was, are you afraid to testify about Hun Sen's involvement in those meetings? And I haven't heard an answer yet, so it's impossible to establish whether this witness can answer that particular question or not. I do not understand.
The President, a witness does not have to answer this question. The witness has said that he does not know anything about what has been read out.
Mr. President, I don't see any point continuing now. You're preventing us from exercising our client's right to cross-examine this witness, asking important questions. I'm very sorry. That's all I can say.
President, thank you. The chamber now hands over to other defense team. You may proceed. The National Counsel for Mr. Evidentiary, Counsel An Wudong. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Your Honours. And good afternoon, my learned friends and everyone in and outside the courtroom. Good afternoon, Mr. Kem Ngon. My name is An Wudong. I am the National Counsel for Mr. Evidentiary. I do not have any questions for you, but on my behalf, as the National Counsel for Mr. Evidentiary and my colleague, Mr. Michael Canavas, we would like to thank you for your time coming here to give your testimony. The President, thank you. Now the chamber hands over to the Defense Counsel for Mr. Kilsampon. Counsel Kongsampon. Thank you, Mr. President. Your Honors. The Defense Counsel for Mr. Kizapon does not have any question for this witness. Thank you. President, thank you for your clear positions that you do not have a question for this witness. The proceedings to hear testimonies of witness Kam Ngon has come to an end. The chamber does not wish to have any further questions for you, Mr. Kam Ngon. The chamber would like to express its gratitude to you that you come here to provide your testimonies following the summons by the court and to answer questions to relevant parties. Now that your testimonies have been concluded, you can be excused to go back to your home. Court officer is instructed to facilitate this vessel to provide transport to witness so that he can be returned home. Today's proceedings has come to the end, even though we still have some time left. We have finished earlier than expected. The chamber will adjourn and will resume tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow proceedings will hear testimony of Mr. Sao Sarun to be questioned by civil parties and lawyers. Moreover, parties should be informed as well as that the chamber may hear testimonies of TCW 488 depending on the health condition of witness Sao Sarun. Security guards are instructed to take the 3 accused persons back to the detention facility and bring them back to this courtroom by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The court is now adjourned.